sex scenes. Meant to be erotic and were not meant to be erotic and actually were. Good, bad.
I actually enjoy. Came out wrong. All right.
This is already good. I don't know what he's going to say.
I think that a fairly good depiction of sex that is realistic is in the realm of the senses by Nagase Oshima. I know that it is often overpowered by the way it ends, which is castration. But up till then, the sex is actually very realistic, and it looks like they're really enjoying it because I believe they actually are enjoying it. They're actually really doing it for one thing. But it's usually with art house films that the sex is usually kind of very bleak and angry, and it's just like, rather than shooting each other, we're gonna have sex. I hate sex. But in the realm of the senses is actually one of the few films that actually shows that sex can be very enjoyable and can be about this kind of black hole and shutting out the rest of the world. That's just two people. So that's one.
Yeah, I thought that the Pillow Book by Peter Greenaway, the first, I think, 20 minutes is just all this weird digital text superimposition and sex scenes cut together, and it's really effective because I'd never seen anything like it before, and it's this sort of writing on the body as the erotic thing, and I hadn't seen it before, and I was like, okay, this is weird, and it's not, it works.
For me, watching sex on film, I don't want to see it realistic at all, because no more than do I want to watch I don't know how anybody finds pornography arousing, nor would I want to walk in on some couple having sex. And so for me, if I'm going to see sex in film, there needs to be something very stylistic or offbeat or interesting about it. I was thinking I like Kathleen Turner and William Hurt going at it because the saxophone is playing. It's so,
Is it Body Heat?
Yeah, Body Heat. It's really over the top, and it's really.
Fantasy machine.
He
breaks the window.
Yeah, he breaks the window because he's got to have her. Yeah, that's great. Mickey Rourke and Lisa Bonet and Angel Heart.
Oh, give me a break.
That is the most outrageous scene. Yeah, it's so. That's a scene that's that scene was built for somebody to say, "Oh no, he didn't." That's Ken Russell probably watched that and went,
Damn
it.
I was so close. I had the feathers, but I didn't have the chicken blood.
It goes way beyond just blood dripping on them. There's all these shots of nuns cut in and like elevators casting shadows. It's just so insane. It's so completely insane. And the movie's not. The movie's a little nuts, but it's nothing like what happens when that scene. It's off a cliff.
Well, the Tom of Finland interrogation scene in Cruisin', where the movie's kind of problematic in weird ways throughout, and then after that point, it just goes to a whole other realm that you do not see coming at all.
I love that moment. That's a terrible movie, but offensive and everything. But as soon as that happens, you're like, whoa. Anything can happen in this movie. I didn't think this was one of those kind of movies where anything can happen. I thought this movie was gonna follow a bunch of rules. But as soon as that happens, you're like, wow, anything can happen. And then there's that weird scene where Pacino's dancing in the club,
with the
poppers, and he starts to enjoy it.
Yeah.
And he gets that weird look on his face, this is kind of fun, and it's a really strange moment.
I have to say my least favorite sex scene is in Don't Look Now.
Wow.
And and I think I dislike it because that's the one that people who are really fond of 70s cinema hold up as the best sex scene ever, and they apparently that's people have parties where they show this this is the best sex scene ever.
Yeah. That's how it was billed before I saw it. I found it very disappointing.
That one's not far off.
Ending. We
Angel
forgot
Heart.
about the twist ending.
I think the worst sex scene is, I know it's a cliche to say it, but it's got to be in Showgirls in the swimming pool.
That is really incredible. The animalistic.
It's like the cross between Jaws.
That weird thing where you're just watching it and you're just like, that looks unpleasant.
Jaws and internet porn.
That doesn't look. Yeah, that just doesn't even look fun. That looks like it hurts.
Yeah.
The stuff with Rebecca De Mornay and Risky Business.
Oh yeah, in the subway car.
Yeah, the scene in the train, and even the scene when she first shows up in his house, and like the door blows open as he grabs her. Like it's again, it's like all really over the top, and it uses the North by Northwest train. And
You know, the best. I think the best thing.
Rebecca De Mornay is beautiful in that movie.
Yeah, the best thing the Wachowski brothers ever did, you know, beyond the Matrix, right, is to like ruin the ability of anyone else to do the heterosexual male fantasy. There's actually a big trend in pop music right now with the male fantasy of pseudo lesbianism. You know, I've heard it in at least like 6 songs by variously popular artists, and you know the obvious one is "I Kissed a Girl" by Katy Perry, where she has to go out of her way to tell you that her boyfriend is gonna mind, and it's like, come on. And Bound kind of does both, because it's like this is actually a legitimate lesbian relationship, and yet you really get the feeling that it's for dudes that are straight.
It's totally for dudes. Are you kidding?
Yeah.
That movie's.
But it's a genuine relationship that they form. Like it's not pseudo lesbianism in the Katy Perry mold. You know, it's I haven't seen anything that actually pulls that trick off. Again, I don't know.
Monster.
No, that's all the way in realism. I think. I don't think that's intended for the
jolly
straight.
Yeah.
If you're getting your jollies from Monster.
Oh, I thought you said Jalo. I was like, I can see that being a Jalo
You got
film.
problems. All right, what films do you like that you
See,
don't-
Dustin, you were the most uncomfortable with that question. See, look at this. I can tell. Woo! Oh man.
Well, I'm just thinking of Rebecca De Mornay.
I didn't get to bring up.
hot under the
Oh, wait.
lights.
I didn't get to bring up the Munich sex scene, which is one of the worst sex scenes
Oh
of all
yeah.
time.
Wow, that's a bad one.
That's a really bad sex scene. At the very end, after he's come home to Israel, and you haven't seen the actual assassination of the Olympic athletes yet, he's having sex with his wife, and it's just a shot of Eric Bono's face.
Yep.
And they keep cutting back and forth. He's just popping away on his wife to them about to murder the Olympics. And you're just like, no, Steven, I know what you're thinking.
My God.
Please don't do that. And then, of course, as soon as he climaxes, they get shot.
Yeah.
And it is the worst thing you've ever seen.
That reminds me of the sex scene in Monsters Ball, which I had mentioned before, with Billy Bob Thornton and Halle Berry. And what's really interesting about that is that you can tell that they really wanted it to be gritty and like just ugly and gritty and real, but like they had to put a bird cage in the shot to make it like a little classier.
Every single shot.
They're like, you know, this is a little too gritty. Can we just get a bird cage in the front of the shot we'll just go through the gilded bird cage. So like that just makes it even weirder.
Isn't every single shot in that? It's shot behind something. Like
it's behind
a
something.
couch.
It's like, but it's not just anything. It's not just a couch. Like there's a bird cage. There's like a stack of books. There's like, I mean, it's like, it's really
Second
weird.
Empire furniture.
Yeah, right.
Oh, it's so bad.